Of course it is. Live on YouTube. Live on Rumble. Live on Twitch. Live on Twitter. I've restarted my phone. It's on the gimbal, and today it's warm enough that I've turned the fan on. I'm keeping it cool. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. All good. Well, well, well. Good afternoon, John.
Afternoon, Ben. How do?
How do is a bit of a question there, isn't it? Oh dear. DW says afternoon, guys. Afternoon to you too. Afternoon to you watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, wherever you're watching, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whenever you are watching. So, I'll tell you how I do, but first tell me how you do, John.
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Yeah, you sure?
Mm-hmm.
You sure about that?
Generally.
So, I'd like to tell you a little story. If you would indulge me. Would you indulge me? Apparently not.
Go on.
And it's about our wonderful NHS dental service. Okay? So, I don't know if you people know. Oh, okay, he's got something. What are you doing?
No, I was just wondering, can you call it an NHS dental service if it isn't there?
Well, this is it. So, people, I was released from my dental surgery about a year and a bit ago, without my own knowledge, because allegedly I missed appointments that I didn't know I had, because they cancelled my appointments without telling me and then rebooked them without telling me, and then yeah. So I've been sans dentist, so been unable to get dental treatment. Now I've had a bit of an issue with tooth up here for a while. And it came to a head a couple of nights ago when the whole front of it just smashed, came out, and left the nerve exposed, John. I was unable to breathe without extreme agony. Luckily, I had some Dentex stuff, you know, the actual tooth filling stuff. You can get it off Amazon. And
no, there was nothing luckily about it.
Well,
because let's be honest, you've been filling your own teeth for months now.
Yes, I have, because I can't get a dentist, and I've tried my arse off to get a dentist. But
right, okay.
This
just coincidentally, I happen to have some dental filling.
Yeah, but this
I kept about my person.
But this reached this point where I couldn't even take a breath without extreme agony. So shoved in the dental filling and sealed it off with super glue because that stuff's crap, right? And it falls out quite quickly. So I thought I'll seal it in because I'm going away. And it got to the point where I was like, right, I'm going to ring the emergency dentist, the NHS emergency dentist. Now, that in itself is a joke because I called the minute the phone line opened, happened to be third in the queue, and that took 25 minutes to get through just that because they only have one phone operator.
Sounds like somebody's charity, we know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So then the phone breaks up on her end, and that's it, call dead on her. And I'm like, shit, bollocks. So I call back, and it says, you are now 11th in the queue. And this is about 7:30 at night at this point. I'm like, yeah, nah, this isn't going to work. So luckily, while I'm in that queue, they call me back. And they apologise, and they say, yeah, the phone's got cut off, blah, blah, blah. And I explain the situation, and they say, well, we are only a temporary service, so here's the advice we can offer you. Get yourself a dentist, which I have been trying to do, and continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you should... I think you should maybe just go and see a blacksmith. You'd probably get better treatment.
I mean, as many of you who watch this channel will know, this weekend I am going for a drive, so I have no choice but to continue doing what I'm doing, at least until I get back. So I have packed in my travel bag Dentec dental filling and a brand new pack of Loctite super glue, and you know them kiddies glue spreaders, them plastic ones that you get for like spreading PVA glue. Got me some of those as well, John, and that's my dentistry.
Yep.
NHS, baby! Tisley in the Twitch chat says, I threatened to pull my tooth out with a pair of rusty pliers to remove my infected tooth. But this is it. This is our dental service. This is what we have. And yes, Trudy says, helped you then? Yeah, helped me. Helped me big time. And one more thing to cover before John introduces the show. We were supposed to be releasing a review of 2022, and it is on the way, isn't it, John?
Yes.
Can't be finished at the moment, though, can it, John?
Not through my fault and not through yours.
I'm sitting here waiting for Adam. Adam, where's Adam?
Where is Adam?
Where is Adam?
Conspicuous by his absence. The Scarlet Pimpernel.
Hmm.
Yeah, we were actually going to rename the show Where's Adam at one point.
We were. But, you know. One more thing, back to the dental thing, because I was speaking to Tisley earlier on Twitter, sent me a message. Tisley, despite the fact is currently, unfortunately, unemployed, is being charged by the NHS Emergency Dental Service.
Ah?
Yeah.
How's that work?
Well, you're not supposed to get a charge, are you?
Yeah.
I challenge it.
They're just making this shit up as they go along now.
I think so. I think they are making this up as they go along. But yeah, review of the year coming at some point, whenever we can get the rest of the footage so that I can edit it. There's probably still about another 8 hours worth of editing to do as well. So with that, John, introduce our little show.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to this episode 183 of Chasing Dissent Live with me, John, and Ben, sitting there in his salubrious studio, still with his Christmas decorations up, I see.
Yeah, I just haven't got around to taking them down. Yeah, I will.
Roll VT.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar.
I was having a little bit of a bop there.
Good.
I enjoyed that.
Did you enjoy it? Did you like the new intro, people?
Well,
Because hang around, because there's a new outro as well.
Yeah, there is. And if you're watching whatever platform you're on, if you can leave a like. We do like a like, don't we, John?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what else likes a like? The algorithm.
Yeah, the algorithm.
Praise be the algorithm. Like. Praise be the algorithm.
All praise to the algorithms.
The holy algorithm.
Already. It's science.
Shalini doesn't like it. Shalini doesn't like it.
Well, that's okay because everybody else did. So
okay.
one unlike out of that many is okay.
I'll take it. Shall we begin then?
Yeah. Let's go. Right. So let's go to Fortress America. What's going on here then, Ben? What is going on here?
They've done it, haven't they? They've done it yet again. They have extended their requirement for you to have at least 2 COVID-19 vaccinations to enter.
It doesn't actually say that. It says requirements for proof of being fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
No, I believe they're still classing 2 as fully vaccinated because...
No, but hold on. But that might only be 1 if it was a J&J.
Also true.
That's true.
But... yeah, anything beyond that, they class as a boosting, don't they? A boosting on top of their...
Right, so let's have a quick look at this thing. And well, first of all, this is the guidance from the TSA to all airline carriers, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it applies on ground entry routes and boat entry routes. Don't know, right? But it certainly applies to flights, which is the way most people out with the US and Mexico get to the States.
Absolutely.
And Canada. So it's an emergency amendment, but where is the emergency? Because and let me just say this as a matter of fact and public record, your commander-in-chief, your president, Joseph Biden, Esquire, right, said the pandemic was over.
He did say that, yeah.
So how can there be an emergency to make an emergency amendment? How can there be?
Well, your guess is as good as mine. Shalini says, I wanted to go potentially this year. We've been wanting to go for a while, haven't we, John?
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is just April the 10th.
I mean,
that's into year 4 of this debacle. Year 4.
And we'll miss episode 200, because what people have to remember is we wanted to do episode 100 of this show from over there. We were
Yeah,
gearing
yeah.
up to do episode 100 of this show from over there, right?
Yeah.
We're about to hit episode 200. This is 183, and we can't even. We're gonna miss the potential opportunity to even go for 200, John.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
It's insane.
It's more than insane, mate. It's completely off its rocker. It really is. America's lost it. Well, it's not America per se, is it? It's the Biden
It's
administration.
the
that's the problem
Democrats.
here.
It's the Democrats.
Yeah,
It's,
it's the Biden administration.
I mean,
This must be one of the last countries on the earth that was requiring anything to get into.
well, I don't get why our transport secretary is not calling up his American counterpart and going, "Oi, we don't do this
Yeah.
to your lot. Why are you doing this
Yeah.
to our lot?"
Well, maybe we should.
Yeah. You know what? I agree with you. We don't do this to them. Anyone, despite their vaccination status from the United States, can enter the United Kingdom as normal with their passport right now. Right? They
Yeah.
can fly
So-
in from any state.
So rather than put arbitrary restrictions on people, maybe we should just say, well, hold on. If you require people to get it to go to your country, then we require your people to get it to come to our country across the board.
I don't
And
see.
if everybody else did that, America would soon go, hold on, we can't fucking go anywhere.
Yeah, but that
Well,
could really-
change your policy.
Yeah, but that could really backfire and open the door for a global vaccine passport.
Do you not think it's coming at some point?
Well, I think that they have made agreements for such a thing already, haven't they? So we shall have to see what we shall see. Shall we move on? I mean, this is ridiculous. There's not really much more we can say about it. You know, what little money we do have could have been being pumped into the US economy, but
Yeah.
They don't want it.
Yeah, they don't want it. They don't want tourism.
they don't
Let's
want our
move on.
unclean money, John.
They just want illegal immigrants who come in with no papers at all.
Unclean, John. Our unclean money. They don't want it.
And then get bussed up to Camilla's doorstep.
I mean, should we do that? Should we fly to Mexico, go across the border, and get bussed to Camilla's doorstep?
Yeah, that would be a laugh. Wouldn't
That
it?
would be a laugh. That would be a laugh.
Apparently,
what
there's been a big increase in Russian people coming across the southern border as well.
Well, yeah, because they want the apple pie and the freedom and the guns and,
Yeah.
you know.
Right. Yes, I know.
A day without dead Russians is not a complete day, says the Times.
Yeah, it's pretty poor. That's a pretty shocking statement to put on your paper. You know, on your online
Well, it's just
version of your paper.
it's glorification of
It's
murder.
glorification of violence.
not just
Yeah.
violence, but murder.
I know, and this is what I don't get. It's not okay to glorify violence unless you happen to be Ukrainian
Well, no, I disagree, actually.
or supporting Ukrainian.
I also disagree with that. It seems to be it's not okay to glorify violence unless you hate current thing. Whatever current thing
Oh
is.
yeah, well yeah,
Like,
white people.
White people.
Yeah,
Russians.
true.
TERFs, right? Whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah,
um,
okay. I have to keep you. I can never remember what a TERF is because I've
believe
never used
it's
the term in my life. And
I
would
believe
never...
it's a trans exclusionary radical feminist.
Yeah, it means nothing to me. Carry on.
But the point is, if the media says it's okay to glorify violence against and hate something, then it appears to be okay to glorify violence against and hate something. But if they say it's not okay, then you're a racist, you're a sexist, you're this, you're that, you're the other. Now, I just personally don't think it's okay to glorify violence and murder against anybody. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right? Am I wrong, John?
I think you're a meringue. No, I think you're right.
Yeah. It's an absolute shit show. It's a shower of shit. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about it. And what people have to realize is these quote unquote dead Russians are people like you, me, everybody else. They're just people with a job. They're just people with a job who are doing a job at the end of the day.
Oh, they're soldiers.
And we can move on to this one, which is connect. How is that connected to that, John?
It's not.
Then why has that got hexagon?
The The first one shouldn't have had.
I was waiting to go on to.
apologies.
I thought we had a zinger there. I thought we had a connection.
So,
Jesus Christ! But let's move on anyway to Dishy Rishi the twat.
who is apparently missing, right?
Hmm.
Did you see the headline in one of the papers? I don't have a clip.
So Dishy Rishi is Mishy.
Yeah. What I think it was a son or something. Could people please look in the refrigerators and cupboards in case he's been trapped inside them?
Good call.
Because apparently he's
Good
gone
call.
missing without leave.
Good call.
He's probably away on holiday or something.
Did you see? I saw earlier actually. There's a video sharing on Twitter. Somebody's photoshopped his New Year's message into a small toilet stall. They're like Rishi's hiding in the toilet.
Oh, it could be. Yeah.
It's-
Remember when Matt Hancock used to do his Zoom calls from the toilet?
He did.
Remember there was a wall like here.
He did.
Here and here. You could actually see the wall on his webcam.
Yeah, but do you remember the for the first when I moved home, I used to do my fucking show in a cupboard.
Yeah, I know, but whereas Hancock can't be that poor that he has to use a cupboard or a toilet.
And I mean, I built that cupboard as well. We built a stud wall. And we went behind that cupboard. Who remembers the cupboard? If you remember the cupboard, bonus points.
Right. Yes. Speaking, the chatler room are worried about the show getting cut off. So, well, this is the first test, but Ben has spoken to the providers of his service, and they assure him that he will not be cut off this time.
I'm not convinced. So just
I'm not
be
convinced either.
prepared.
Yeah.
And, you know, we should probably try and keep this to a nice tight hour. Is what I'm.
Yeah, we
what
probably should.
I'm thinking.
Right, moving on.
But we're not moving on because we haven't actually spoke about this yet. Rishi Sunak wants all
That's
pupils to study maths until 18. Why?
Why? What does he mean by maths? Right, I don't like this use of the word maths. Okay, does he mean mathematics or does he mean arithmetic? Because they were two separate subjects when I was at school, and arithmetic's much easier than mathematics, and there's a much smaller syllabus. So what does he mean? Does he mean mathematics or does he mean arithmetic?
He doesn't know what he means.
Yeah. So you know what, Rishi? Fuck off and go and live in your own reality because you do not inhabit ours.
None of them inhabit our. Have you seen the state of them, man? Have you seen the state of these people? They eat fucking caviar. These people.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck? Who eats fish eggs and thinks it's a fucking delicacy? Rich
Well,
people.
Well, not necessarily, because I remember my dad used to eat this thing called cod roe, which is basically a poor man's caviar, I think.
It is a poor man's caviar, yeah. It is. But these are these.
I never liked to look at it. It wasn't something I was keen to try.
Well, I'm not shocked, John, because you see the caviar they open it's just tin of green balls, and you're like,
Black.
it's mostly green, to be honest. I was watching people eat
I
caviar today.
I don't like the sound of it.
Yeah. But these are the type of people that are telling you what to do. You know, they're caviar eaters. And you should look at them. You should look at people that enjoy that as a delicacy with great suspicion. That's all I'm saying. Oh, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
From Anthony Albanese.
Yeah, who is an Australian government official, apparently.
Oh,
So this
that's-
is quite good because it just shows you that the Australians are just as fucking mad as everybody else. I mean, we knew that anyway. Well, we knew the leaders were, but I mean, what nonsense is this? I mean, clean. Well, why is it clean energy? After you've put all the concrete and metal and plastic into making it, and then using all the oil to cool the gearboxes and keep them lubricated, that you have to change what is it, 700 gallons per turbine every year?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that you've got to or every 9 months or something.
Yep.
And if you don't change it, it does go on fire, and we've seen them go on fire.
And it's quite impressive when they go on fire, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a giant Catherine wheel.
Yeah, it's fun.
And not to mention all the birds that they do kill, right? So I don't understand why people think it's green energy. And really, on that point, why even bother? Because carbon dioxide emissions have gone up. They're going up year on year. So why bother? I mean, they're just going up. and to be honest, not making a lot of difference.
No, it's not. All that this shit is gonna do.
But shh.
Shut up already. It's science.
Let's pray. The science.
First prayer of 2023.
The science.
The science.
Thank you.
Shut up already. It's science.
Let's move on, shall we, John?
Yes, right. So this one, this is just proof that people are very disingenuous, aren't they? Because they've all said this.
They have.
And now they're all saying that we never said that. But
They
did
did.
say it.
They did say it.
And they're caught banged to rights.
They're all
caught
on
in
video
print, they're
saying
caught on
it.
video. Yeah, they're caught in live TV. They're caught saying it. They've all been caught saying it, and yet now they claim they didn't say it.
Do you know what? Things that have been said that are completely nonsense and nonsensical, right? I was reading the latest government guidance today. They sent it to us via the school. They sent the latest, and they're mentioning the old face coverings again, John.
The masks. Right. Yeah, you're allowed to say masks on YouTube.
But still, they're mentioning them again. They're not quite outright mandating them. But
well, no, they haven't mandated them. What they have said, and I mean, we can move on to the next slide if you wish.
oh, hold on.
But what they have said is that people who are ill
Should wear one.
Should wear one if they go outside.
Right, but the other thing that said, before we actually move on to the slide, the other thing that's said, and this is the exact wording, it says people who are unwell should not visit a healthcare setting.
Well, the doctors have been saying this for ages as
Yeah,
well.
but
Don't come to us if you're not well.
But what? What? That's nonsense. What? Okay, I'm unwell.
It's not nonsense if you're deliberately trying to tear down your health structure.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Because I can't see any. I mean, everything seems to be engineered here to provide a perfect storm. I mean, did you see the latest? They're talking about wanting to bring the Nightingales back to help the NHS out. So how a film set is going to help the NHS out, I
honestly,
don't know.
I honestly don't know myself. I mean, because let's just take a look at Nightingale London, right? Nightingale London in itself, in the XL Centre, had no running water, had no power for most of the things, had no toilets.
No toilets. No toilets. That's a biggie.
It was, as John said.
How many beds was it supposed to have?
Like 1,000 or something?
And
or maybe
no toilets.
More? No toilets.
Oh, ouch. That's going to smell in the morning.
Well, obviously it was never intended to be used. Because you don't construct something like that without the most basic hygiene and sanitization facilities. And I'm not even talking against a respiratory virus. I'm talking doctors being able to wash their hands. There was no running water. Yeah. Right? You don't construct that to treat thousands of patients. You don't. You construct that as a film set.
Yeah, you can't do it. I mean, if this was meant, these places were meant to house people that had respiratory ailments, so they would all needed oxygen and everything that goes with that, and all the machine. Where would you get all that equipment?
And how are you going to power all of that equipment?
How are you going to power it? You would need to start up a new bloody oxygen making plant to get enough oxygen as well. And there'd be vans going and back and forward every time. Who's cooking the food for them? The people that are, semi-compos.
They had no facilities to do that.
So they couldn't cook food. So that would have to be cooked off-site and brought in. You can't do this sort of thing on a long-term basis. It just doesn't work.
It was all optics. And I mean, look at Nightingale Manchester. I mean,
none of them were used.
But when Charlie Veitch tried to even take a glance in it, I saw his video, he was basically attacked by security guards because I guarantee you if he got his camera in there, you'd have seen an empty room.
Well, yeah, because none of them were used.
But I don't think they even built that one, John. I don't think they even built it, right? You're right, they were not used. And they were never going to be used because if they if they thought they were going to need to use them, they would have built them properly. They would have built them with these facilities. They would have made sure they'd gone in a place where they had access to running water, where they had access to toilets. They knew full well. They just needed to be seen to be doing something. And that's this slide in a nutshell. Health chiefs wanting to be seen to be doing something they know is completely fucking useless. Shall we move on?
Oh, yes, and right, so now we have the problem that the MSM are going to start driving the narrative again because they've started already. Because they're saying things here that are not exactly what Health Chief said.
Yeah.
Because Health Chief said, wear a face covering if you're ill.
Yeah, they did.
Not if you're well, if you're ill, right?
Yeah.
But there's no mention of that. No mention of that in this headline or the first paragraph or anything. And let's face it, most people these days have the attention span of a gnat, okay? So if you don't cover it in a headline, or if you make a headline that's disingenuous at best and a downright lie at worst, right, then people are going to be taken in on hook, line and sinker, and that's exactly what they rely on. Because further, I mean, if you go into most of these articles, at some point they will point out the actual the actuality, but it's usually near the end.
Of course it is. Of course it is. They don't want you to actually know what was properly said. Come on now, John. They just want to scare you.
I mean, look at it as well. The advice issued by the UK Health. I hate that fucking Health Security Agency.
Yeah, they
Fuck
renamed
off.
it that, didn't they?
I know. I just hate that.
I do too.
Stinks. It just stinks. It's like when you change from personnel to human resources. That really put you in your place, didn't it? Because you are a human resource.
You're a resource.
What does that mean? You are expendable and just to be used. That's all you are. Just a human resource. But anyway, so they've urged parents to keep their child out of school and nursery if they are ill. Well, normally if your kid's ill, you don't fucking send them to school.
Well, it depends on the strength of illness. If they've got a little bit of a sniffy nose, a little shit's
hold on,
going to school.
Right, wait a minute. When I say ill,
Yeah.
I mean ill.
I know what you mean.
When people have a cold, they're not ill, right?
No,
you have a cold, right? You suck it up and you get on with it. Well, that's what we used to do
That's
in
what
the
I still
old
do.
days. Yeah, but not these guys. No. So yeah, the whole thing's ridiculous. And speaking of ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
This clown.
Back to
Right.
Rishi.
Yeah, this clown has this was posted by obviously some government official, right? I mean, it wouldn't be him because he's not high enough to sit at a keyboard, is he? Anyway, so this clown has posted this. Watch live tomorrow on, and it was a GIF thing, so we went LinkedIn, Twitter, and all that. Don't bother putting any fucking links in it, though.
No.
Don't tell us where we're going to watch it.
No. Just on LinkedIn.
Don't make it easy for you.
Just on LinkedIn.
I mean, don't even tell you when it is.
No, John, you got to watch on LinkedIn.
No, it wasn't just on LinkedIn. That was a
says-
GIF. So,
Okay.
but it would roll over. It would go LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. It would go through all the social medias. But I mean, it doesn't tell you when or where. So are we just supposed to read fucking minds now? Sunak, twat.
Yeah, but
I have no regard for this guy whatsoever.
I have no
None
regard.
whatsoever.
Shalini says in the chat, Rishi Sunak is smaller than me. And for those of you who don't know, Shalini's pretty short.
She's this small.
She's pretty short. She has contemplated applying to be our dwarf, hasn't she?
Oh, actually, no.
Yeah. She's
There are very, very strenuous and rigorous tests that you would need to go through in order to qualify as a chasing descent dwarf.
you'd have to be shot out of a cannon. That's the test.
You need to be thrown against a Velcro wall.
Shot out of a cannon. That's the test.
I don't know if we can afford a cannon, but I think we could probably manage a Velcro wall.
Shalini, Trudy says, I'm 5'4".
No,
True.
that's way too big.
And Shalini, she doesn't want to be shot out of a cannon or chucked against a Velcro wall by the looks of it.
No, 5'4" is fairly normal.
Yeah.
For women in Scotland, it's fairly normal.
Let's move on to something that used to be fairly normal, but clearly now isn't. Shoe polish.
Well, what gets me more than the shoe polish, right? Okay, is the comments at the start. Unshined shoes are the end of civilization, says Diana Vreeland, legendary editor of Vogue. And it is only shallow people who do not judge by appearances. Oscar Wilde.
I'm going to ask you a question. Kiwi shoe polish, by the way, to disappear as UK no longer cares about shiny shoes. John, have you ever shined your shoes?
Well, yeah.
You have?
I used to build my shoes for parade.
So
you probably won't know what that means.
No.
But I don't know what it means because
he was in the SAS, yeah?
Yeah. The 69's fucking wet behind the ears division, wasn't it?
You really should come and watch some of our Fortnite streams on the other channel because the things that come out of Vaughan are quite...
I don't know what actually comes out, but the things that comes out of his mouth are quite hilarious at times.
I mean, I was going to say, he is pretty much the star of the show over there, isn't he?
Oh,
Let's face it.
Definitely. Come on, boys, we got this.
We got this, boys. We got this, boys. Yeah.
Then he proceeds to go and die or something like that.
I don't know.
But anyway.
I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I am their hero. I am their hero. I could be a hero, Johnny.
After the drubbing you've had for the last 2 nights, I can't imagine why you'd think that. But anyway, right? So this is obviously from the Twitter files, isn't it? U.S. government agency demanded suspension of 250,000 accounts. And it just so happens some of those accounts ended up including journalists, like yourself, Ben, and Canadian officials.
Bet I'm on that list, honestly.
I bet you are, yeah.
Bet I'm on that list. Guaranteed I'm on that list, actually. Quarter of a million accounts. You're probably on it as well.
Oh, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
But how do you think my accounts ended up banned? I mean, am I grateful that they're back? I'm not sure. I really don't know how to feel about it. I've been thinking about this because, yeah, I'm happy that my account is back, but I should never have been banned in the fucking first place, so...
Yeah, I know. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. It's a nonsense. And to be honest, why is it taking so long to either restore people's accounts or not, as the case may be?
Well, I believe... I'll tell you exactly why. I believe that each being done individually and manually, one account at a time.
We'll be here for fucking years.
Yep. I believe that's what's going on. And then people who get the attention of Twitter support with people going, reinstate this person, reinstate that person, and getting a little bit of support appear to jump the queue, so to speak, like Abby Roberts and myself, for example. But I think that's what's happening. So, should we move on from the Twitter files? Because we knew this was happening. We knew we were probably targets of this. And I guarantee you, half of the people who troll me are involved with these people in some way.
Yeah.
So let's move on to Tom Brady praying for Damar Hamlin after Bills safety suffers cardiac arrest. Now, this is a very complicated one because nobody knows.
Yeah, well, I'm going to speak about this because, and this might sound strange, but a similar thing happened to me.
Smashed in the chest and...
Yeah, right. So this guy, he took a tackle. It didn't look that bad. It really didn't. I mean, because you've seen American football players, they do get hit and they get hit hard, right? And I mean, you've seen them spinning through the air and everything. So he took a tackle and went down and didn't get back up and had a cardiac arrest.
Well, he did get back up and then he went down again.
Well, yeah, okay. So he had a cardiac arrest on the field and he was resuscitated there and now he's in hospital, right? So then the hexagon here is genuine, right?
Right.
So what we have is they're saying that he may have suffered a freak 1 in 200 million injury that shuts off blood to the brain, right?
Yeah.
So this is to do with when you get smacked when, I think, it's as your ventricles filling with blood or something, but you've only got something like a 20 millisecond gap or something when this can occur. But if you get hit at this point, it can cause a cardiac arrest and you can end up dying or worse.
I mean, he did take a hell of an impact to the chest.
Well, in American football terms, he didn't really.
Took another guy's shoulder.
Yeah, but in American football terms, does that really count? So anyway...
because they're so damn padded up.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So anyway, this thing explains what happens and how the mechanism works. So I mean, we don't know if this worked or not, right? We don't know if this is what caused it. But shortly before I was diagnosed with an issue with my heart, atrial fibrillation and left ventricular poor performance, shall we say, which they call heart failure.
Yeah.
Which I'm treating basically on my own now because the NHS appear to have given up. They just give you drugs and then say go away.
Yeah,
because it will never get better. Right?
That's what happens with my condition.
Yeah, but
loads of drugs go away.
I've been doing research and apparently I've got a good chance of clearing this with fasting and keto and stuff.
Okay.
Can really help. But anyway, regardless of that, so and that's kind of what I've been doing. So I actually perform quite well considering that I'm supposed to be this. Well, I suppose I'm meant to be disabled, but I'm not really. So I got hit in the chest, right? So I was karting, right? And I was in the lead and I spun and got hit by a train of 6 carts all in a line head on, right?
Oh.
So instead of the impact being one cart, it was basically 6 carts all piled into me at once.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, I was winded. I had to take like 2 minutes out before I could carry on. Because I mean, I was winning the fucking race and it got restarted and everything. So I thought, well, I'm not going to lose a race. And then I had a hell of a chest pain for like a week or two, and I just assumed it was bruising.
It wasn't though.
Well, I don't think it was because I went to Florida and on holiday, and we came back and I was still kind of getting it, and then I woke up one night in bed and couldn't breathe. And I sat up and I could breathe. And I would lay back down to go to sleep and I couldn't breathe. And it turned out my lungs were filled up with fluid because of heart failure.
Lovely.
Yeah. So I ended up in the hospital for a couple of days.
Well, yeah.
And
it's probably the right place to be.
Well, yeah. I ended up in hospital. They did some tests and ultrasounds and things, gave me some drugs and sent me home.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks later, they said, we'll try and shock it back because it's in an abnormal rhythm as well.
I've had abnormal rhythm.
Yeah. So they tried to shock it back into... You'll find this funny, no doubt. But they tried to shock me back into a normal rhythm. So all they succeeded as doing was branding a fucking big C on my chest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they didn't put it on right and it burnt me. Right? Because when they put the pad on, you know, the thing the insulating thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying this isn't on right. It's not stuck down properly, and they're going, no, it's fine. It'll be fine. Well, it wasn't fucking fine. I was right. You branded a C on my chest.
Do you know what? As somebody who deals with large amounts of pain on a daily basis, yeah, I empathise with you, but I do not sympathise.
No, I'm just... Yeah, but the point is, I could understand that if it was part of the treatment.
Yeah.
But it wasn't supposed to be. I wasn't supposed to wake up with a fucking big C branded in my chest.
Ladies and gentlemen, our NHS, our National Health
And
Service.
then I got sent for a, what's that thing, echocardiogram.
Yeah.
Right?
ECG. Yeah, I have them quite often.
No, the one where they put the dye in. I think it is. An echo. Aye. So they sent me for one of them, and I ended up in the private hospital.
Ooh.
Because obviously the NHS couldn't cope. So I ended up, and I mean, I wasn't paying. It was just the NHS do that up here.
You always get a better. Same here. You always get a better service going that way.
Much better service. Anyway. So anyway, I'm in, and the guys, I'm like, and it's the same doctors, remember?
Of course,
it's the same doctors.
Of course.
Just, you know,
of course.
I mean, and I mean literally the same doctors.
And the same doctors, just with access to better stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, literally, it's the same doctor because half the day he works in the NHS and half the day he's in the private. So anyway, so at that point, I'm lying on the table, and the guy goes, "If there's any problems, we'll just stick a stent or two in." You know, because they were going to check and see if my arteries were clogged up.
Yeah.
And I mean, literally, the guy was there for 2 seconds, looked at the screen and went, nope, not a plumbing issue.
So the moral of the story is, we have absolutely no fucking clue what's happened to Damar Hamlin.
We have no clue, but when I told the NHS about getting smacked in the chest, right? Because they said, have you had rheumatic fever as a child and all this shit? And I'm going, no, I've not had any of that shit. When I told them about getting smacked in the chest by the karting accident, they completely disregarded that and said, no, it couldn't possibly be anything to do with that. But now we're finding out that big impacts in the chest can have things to do with that.
It's probably everything to do with that.
So, I mean, it was a fucking hell of a coincidence, really, wasn't it? So I'm quite disappointed in the NHS.
I'm quite disappointed in the NHS for many, many reasons, including them basically begging the government to force everybody to cover their faces again.
I'm surprised. Well, I'm surprised that they haven't initiated a Canada-style assisted package.
It's coming.
Yeah, I think it will be.
It's only a matter of time. And once again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I'm a very big believer in euthanasia in the right circumstances, right? And the right circumstances are very, very narrow. They're narrow. They're not. It's not a broad scope.
You're right, mate.
But let's move on because...
Yes, let's move on to more lighter things. And thinking about... I was looking at old Putin there and I hadn't really thought about it because he's standing there with his glass going, Happy New Year. He has 11 fucking time zones in that country. 11! 11! How big is Russia?
It's massive, yeah.
When it spans 11 time zones.
Fucking massive.
That's just mental. See, you don't think about it because when you look at a regular map, right, a Mercator projection, Russia's at the top of the screen, the top of the thing, where everything's distorted, right? Now, I'm going to have to nip off just for a second, old boy. I'll be back in a tick, okay? Just a minute, I'll be back.
You cannot get the fucking staff. You just can't. State of this. I don't know what he's up to. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, where's Adam? Exactly right, DW. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's in the YouTube chat. That's where he is. Where has he gone now? Says Adam. I don't know. Honestly. I don't know. Vaughan says Africa is still bigger than Russia, though it looks smaller on the map. Trudy says Adam is here. Woo! Adam, could you give them a link to the Discord? So if you are looking on Twitter or YouTube, you can come and join our Discord. It's free. Vaughan says, "Where's the bloody klaxon today, Ben?" Well, have you sent something? Well, the Kofi thing's off. It should be on. It's off. That's why. My apologies. It's off. Don't know why. Won't turn back on. So that's where the bloody klaxon is. Vaughan says, Colonel Adam. Jays Franklin says, how many Alexas does John need? Is that what they are behind him? Are they Alexas? Yeah, there's the Discord anyway. Go and click that. Join that. It's free. We like free. I will tell John in a second this situation. And so he can read the message out. Because he's got access to it. He's coming back. I can hear him. He's definitely coming back. There he is. There he is. He's here. John? John?
I'm terribly, terribly sorry, but completely unexpected, and not to be looked at as a gift horse in the mouth type thing. The coffee delivery.
Right. Well, you're gonna have to go to Ko-fi because the donation thing is not working, even though it's on. And Vaughan sent something, and the klaxon hasn't gone off. The message hasn't been read. So you're going to have to...
But it worked the last time.
Yeah, I know, and I've just turned it off and back on, and it's just not there. which means it's either OBS breaking it or something
What-
on their
why
end.
Did it work on Friday?
Yeah, it works on Friday, but I think this might be something on Kofi's end because it's not working across any sync.
Okay, I shall examine that.
Yes.
I must apologise. So anyway, yeah, well, I was talking about Russia. Have we moved on, or are we
Yeah,
still?
we're gonna move on. We're just gonna move on.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get on through. Saudi Arabia considers accepting yuan instead of dollars for Chinese
Wow, this is
oil
big.
sales. This is big. This is the end of
This
the
is-
petrodollar if this happens.
And this comes right back to all the stuff that we put out last year. Remember about China being the new economic superpower, about wanting to take over,
Mm-hmm.
about America being in trouble, and
Mm-hmm.
I think they are.
I don't think they'll even need to send troops in shipping containers, John.
No, I don't think they will. I think they're going to do it by stealth.
They will indeed. They'll do it via stealth. Vaughan says it's not fun if the klaxon don't go. Don't bother reading it. I'm professional. What did he write? I want to know what he wrote now. He doesn't want us reading it. Therefore, what did he write?
I'll tell you after this show.
Okay.
I'll see if I can get it running and put it up.
Well, nightclub stabbing suspects charged with Boxing Day murder of footballer Cody Fisher, 23, deny afraid and are remanded in custody. So what's going on here then?
Well, it's really not been reported, and certainly nothing about the fact that the artist seems to have been a bit heavy on the pencil when he's been doing the shading.
How do you mean?
Well, white guy gets stabbed.
Yeah.
Media, not interested.
No. Of course. They're not. Of course, they're not interested. Victims and perpetrators don't fit narrative.
I'm sure those are two fine, upstanding members of the community. I'm sure there's no